What's up, YouTube? This is Chris, aka Bar911970, and as always, I thank you for taking the time to watch my video. For those of you who've been asking for the longest time about my cat Orgone, well, here he is. I just woke him up. He's a little asleep. For those of you who don't know the situation, um, my father died a couple years ago in a fire, and long story short, um, I have his car, and it's in my driveway. And on Father's Day of last year, I was in the backyard doing some of my orgone pyramids, and I started hearing this chirping. What I thought was a bird, so I went to look around and couldn't find anything. Long story short, there was this little baby kitten, and his eyes were all messed up. He was in my father's car on Father's Day. He was hiding in the trunk of the car, and I guess he was all day screaming for his mother, and they left him abandoned. He had an eye infection. Then we found out a week or two later that he had feline AIDS. And because I love animals so much, I have two cats, both rescues. The first one, his name is Shy, and I found him, of all places. He was abandoned in my basement on Mother's Day of 2010. But long story short, when we found out he had feline AIDS, it was going to cost me about $800 to save his life. And I had about $850 to my name. And I used my money to help save that cat's life. And that cat is the most amazing thing. I've actually made an orgone pyramid for him. It's made with all different types of crystals and stones that have to do with immune disorder problems. And he runs around like he's perfectly fine. He plays with my other cat all the time. An amazing animal, and love him to death. So when I see cruelty to animals, and I see people wanting to hurt a defenseless creature, it angers me to no end. And if I had the money and I had the ability, I would rescue hundreds of animals. And the funny part is, for the longest time, with my asthma that I've had all of my life, which is going away thanks to the sun gazing, but that's a video for another time, I still kept these cats. You got to be good in this world. It's amazing how selfish, how cruel, how arrogant, how greedy so many people are in this world. And I'll tell you something, I'd give my life just to save those animals, because to me they mean more than most of the people in the world. Because animals will be there for you regardless. They love you unconditionally. They're not there feeding off of how much money you can give them or how many friends you could provide for them. They just love you because that's their nature. And we as a species are the most selfish, greedy, hateful, arrogant, jealous people I've ever met. It's sad. And that's not everybody. There are some really good people out there. And some of the people that follow my channel, they're some of the better people out in the world. And they are very caring. And that's what I love. And you guys inspire me. And you'll see some thumbs down on this video as well, because the haters, they're showing their agenda. So I guess when they thumb it down, that means they like injuring animals and they think it's good to hurt them. So that video I posted, the last video I posted about, what some of the military is doing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit there and say everybody does it, because that would be naive and that would be just plain stupid on my behalf if that was the case. But like they say, a few bad apples spoil the tree. And I think it's time we stop looking the other way and allowing the atrocities in the world to happen just because they don't happen right in front of us, just so we can live comfortably. When I was saving that cat's life, I had to sacrifice a lot because all the money I had at the time was gone and going into saving his life. And I'd do it 1,000 times over if I had to. And I know plenty of people out there would. Orgone is an amazing cat. And you see he has the energy, he ran away. But he'll come up to me every day I come home from work or go out and I come back in the house. He comes wherever he was sleeping, comes straight to the door to greet me, purring. Lets me know that he's thankful that I saved his life, and I'm proud of that. Anybody out there that would hurt another animal is just despicable in my mind, and it's just a bully that is too cowardly to hurt somebody their size, so they have to pick on a defenseless animal. If we continue to look the other way, then these powers that be all around the world, these evil, corrupt bastards, are going to win and continue to win like they've done for centuries. And we have been so programmed and so dumbed down and so used to our captors that we do the work for them. They don't even have to spend all their time getting armed guards to keep us around and building up walls to keep us in our areas. They just give us a little bit of fear. We're just so used to being handed the little scraps that they so generously provide us that we regulate ourselves. Is this the way we want mankind, our species, to evolve and continue on to? You think it's going to get any better? Study history. We may be more technologically advanced, but we're no better than our ancestors were in the days that they were walking around with billy clubs and a bunch of rocks. Yeah, we might have a higher vocabulary. We might have better technology. We're not better people. And I know there are a lot of good people out there. I know that if you saw somebody hurting an animal that you saw right in front of you, I know a lot of you would actually go out of your way to stop them. But we see all this overseas, we see all this stuff, and we just choose to ignore it because it makes us feel bad, so we don't want to face it. If there are people out there that have any programs to save animals or provide shelters, I want you to leave comments and links to where people can make donations or can do anything to contribute. And if you have the ability, I'll tell you this much. I wish I won the lottery. Because one of the first things I would do is go to some animal shelter that takes care of animals, that doesn't kill them, and give them $1 million just so they can take care of those animals better. So if you want to donate money to a cause, do it for defenseless animals that can't defend themselves, that get abused by a bunch of arrogant people that are too afraid to hurt somebody their size, and they have to be cowards. It's embarrassing, and I think it's time we as a society and the good people in this world say enough is enough and stop waiting for Superman, stop waiting for Ron Paul, stop waiting for some new president, Jesse Ventura, or anybody out there, or Superman himself to come and rescue us. Because that's what they're counting on. They're counting on us to sit around and wait. No longer comply to this garbage. And to those of you who cared enough to ask how my cat is doing, I thank you guys. I love the fact that people care about me so much, and I'm a stranger to them. I'm just a face on a YouTube screen. And I wanted to show him to let you know that he's doing great, and both of my cats are doing wonderful. And I'll tell you something, I would put my life on the line for them any day. And nobody will ever put their hands on them in an abusive way, because they'll have to go through me first. And I know a lot of people out there that would feel the same way about their animals. And you guys are the real good people. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.